Hey, hello everybody. It is Mr. Ensminger here with our first Java video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do input with Java. I'm going to show you two different methods. I'm going to show you the scanner class. I'm going to show you the JOption pane, which we did a little bit of with message box, but I'm going to show you how to do an input box. So, to do the scanner class, and this is more similar to what we did in Python and in C++, where we did what would be known as console input straight from the IDE. I'm going to import java.util.star. That is the import for the scanner class. Then, in my main function, and you can see I have a class called Java Input. Of course, that's the same name as my file. I have the main function in here. At the top of your main function, we declare what we would call an instance of the scanner class. And what that means is, if you remember back when we did like sran times 0, we did randomize, there are certain things that you want to put at the top of your program to sort of initialize and then use it throughout your program. This is going to be very similar to that. An instance variable is going to be like when we did the classes in C++, when we said stuff like fraction f1, that's an instance of fraction. So I have scanner, that's the name of my class, and then the variable, the instance of that class is going to be input. So again, going back to Visual Basic, button and then button1. Button1 was instance of button. So scanner input equals new scanner system.in. So you've seen system.out with print. Now you have system.in for input, and you're grabbing it here, putting it at the top of your function. You don't have to do it anywhere else other than just right at the top. Now what that allows you to do, I can make variables based off of that. So for example, int num equals, and then we don't say scanner dot, we use the instance variable. So input dot next int is going to give us the integer version of the scanner class. Now, if you want to prompt, like you want to say, hey, type in an integer, you can't do that in the same line, you must do it separately. So let's do a quick little print, but don't do print ln because that would go the next line down. It looks better with just print. Say something like, please enter an integer. And then you do that, and let's just look at what that looks like. Run the program real quick. So down at the bottom in your interactions window, here's your text, please enter an integer. So there's your print, and then it's asking you to type in a number, so we can do that, and boom, there we go. Right? So as far as the methods of the scanner class go, if I want to type in, please enter a float, guess what? Floats fnum equals input.next float. And please enter a double ddum equals input.next double. And again, just to show you what this looks like, it's really indistinguishable from each other. If you have like, there's an integer, there's 4, 5, 6, so all works just fine. For strings, if I do system out print, please enter your name, string name, input.next, it's not string. I know it's a pain. It's actually that next line. Why? Nah, just because they want to irritate you. I don't know why. So try that out. 4, 5.6, 7.8, and then, oh no, what happened? It didn't let me do anything. That's weird. Alright, so you know how all the languages you've done, they all have their little quirks and nuances. So here's the thing. Talking about next line, next line has issues with grabbing prior enter keys. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So you type in a number, you hit enter. You type in a number, you hit enter. You type in a number, you hit enter. The numbers are stored. The enters are kind of kept in the keyboard buffer. They're remembered. And so when you get down here and the computer is saying, give me the next line of input, give me the next text, problem is it's going to grab those extra inputs. And so it's a little bit annoying. And if I reverse this, if I put this up here, and I run that, so if I type sming, now it works just fine because nothing was above that to interfere. And now clearly you can't always just say, I'm going to put it above. Right, so how can you deal with that? Well, what you can do is basically grab on to those keys into a dummy variable, something that you're not going to do anything with. So for example, if I do something like string temp equals input.nextLine. Okay, so there's no prompt or anything, it's just I'm going to grab that. I'm going to grab the enters and then have it basically cleared out for this. Is that something that's a little strange? Yeah. I'm not going to lie and say it's not, but it works is the important thing. So whenever you have a next line that follows other next things, next int, whatever, be aware that that's an issue. Now, if you have multiple next lines, if I say, let me copy and paste that, put that down here, please enter your, I don't know, last name, and then let's do first name. So if I say L name down here, just to test it out. So if I use 4, 5.6, 7.8, sming, and sming, it works okay again. It's only when you have the non-string next functions, because you're storing the value, but then the enter is not a value, it's a character itself. So it's kept until the next thing it encounters. So next line has issue with grabbing prior enter keys on the numeric functions. We can put a dummy variable to clear out the old enter keys before we move to the text. Okay, so you want to plan that ahead with that a little bit. Again, it's not the best solution, but it does work. The reason that this is an issue is because Java was not originally meant to work with input like this. They've sort of inserted it over the years. It's supposed to be a web-based application, not console-based. So it's not perfect, but we don't do this part of it that often. But I just wanted you to be aware. So that's the first part, and then the second part of this would be how do you get it with the option panes. So if I import javax.swing.star, again, this is for the JOption pane for the show input dialog. Now, of course, we've already seen the show message dialog, but let me show you how to do the show input dialog. Imagine none of this was here. I'm going to keep it there because it's not going to really bother anything. I'm going to come down here and a little divider there for you. So here's what we're going to do. I am, once again, going to make some string. String, let's do, I don't know, address. That's a little bit too long, but who cares? Okay, so string address equals JOption pane dot show input dialog. Once again, take note, capital, because it's class, lowercase, and then in here, in the quotes, and notice there's no null, comma, it's just, put this, enter your address. Now, oops, semicolon. what that does is it's going to store this the same way as it would input next line, but it's going to do so with a little pop-up window. So Sming, and then there you go. Enter your address. So 6746 Carlisle Pike, let's say, and good to go. Okay. Now the only thing I will say with this only gets input as text. There is no version that's going to get it as the other things. So we must convert using either integer.parseInt or double.parseDouble. There are converters that will convert strings into those variables. Okay. Now, let me give you an example quick. If I want to do like string snum, J option pane, show input dialog, enter a number. Now, of course, if we're entering a number, we're storing it into a string. Once we enter that number, then what we can say is int mynum. I think I used num up top already. Yeah, I did, so I'm not going to use it again. So int mynum equals integer.parseInt snum. So you're converting the string to an integer. So just keep that in mind. We have the same problem in Visual Basic if you remember using the VAL command to convert text boxes to values. Same thing happens here. So you have integer.parseInt for integers, double.parseDouble for doubles. And yes, there's float.parseFloat, but I mean these are the two we're going to use most often. So that is all. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.